Welcome to Big Monday as part of ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's in the SWAC tonight. Alcorn State on the road, taking out Arkansas Pine-Bluff here in Arkansas. Along with Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Dave Lamont. Thank you very much for joining us, Malcolm. We got some scorers in this game tonight.
We really do. Martavius McKnight right now leads the SWAC in points per game. He can score from all over the place. He has been a matchup nightmare in the SWAC conference. That's going to be a key theme tonight, how they match up against McKnight. On the other side, we have one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the SWAC conference. Already 76 threes made this season by Maurice Howard. He can pull up across half court anywhere. They need to find him in transition. He cannot have any airspace. But you are right. We have two of the best scorers in the SWAC conference on display tonight.
And the funny thing is, you mentioned Maurice Howard. He didn't make a three in the last game, which was a Braves loss. He had a streak, 39 consecutive games with a made three-pointer, third longest in D1, and that came to a crashing end on Saturday. So he will try to start a new streak tonight, and we're underway. Alcorn in the purple, and Pine-Bluff, the Golden Lions in the home white. And here we go. The officials, Charles Jones, Marcus Pettigrew, Michael Wallace. You take a look at the starting fives. They pretty much kept these same fives we thought they were going to. No big surprises there. Artavius McDice, by the way, the son of the great pro Antonio McDice. Already 7 to shoot here for Pine-Bluff. That's a contested shot, but no trouble for Sean Doss, who's kind of the Robin to McKnight's Batman offensively on this Pine-Bluff team. We take a look at the Braves and their starting five. Also keep an eye out number 0 there, Tremaine Crosby. If he has a good night, it could be a good night for the Braves.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff coming out in a 2-3 matchup zone. They will play a lot of zone and give the Alcorn State team a lot of different looks out of that zone. They'll go 1-3-1, 2-3 matchup. They'll try to trap sometimes in the corner. They'll try to keep you guessing every time out of the zone. There they go, trapping in the corner.
3 to shoot, out of bounds, turned over off the hands of Reginald Johnson. Pine Bluff's won 3 in a row in conference. They're in contention for being in the top 4 in the SWAC. The tournament, and that's important. That's a tough little shot, short on the rim, and the offensive rebound goes to Markel Carter. He'll go ahead and fire. And another offensive rebound, this time McDice.
Nice work on the offensive glass that time by McDice.
And that time Carter found just an open spot in the Alcorn defense and lays it in.
And Dave, that's a nice post-entry pass. Put a little loft on it. Right angle, and all he had to do was catch, turn, and finish off the gamble. That's nice interior passing that time, post-entry pass.
Johnson step back. Tell you what, Reginald Johnson's a great story. He missed a year almost with a broken leg. Still is not 100% healthy. I think if he goes through a metal detector at the airport, he's going to set it off. He's got rods and 2 legs, but yet he is out here realizing that his career is going to end after this season. He's already got his degree, and he said, Coach, I just want to play. I don't want to wait 2 years.
It really is a great story. Speaking with Coach Robinson, he said, look, he is just tough. He's been out there gutting it through on that leg, and they need his offense and just leadership, but again, that's a great story for him to be playing in that pain.
Alley, and the finish nicely done that time. Dale Scott will come in with a layup, and we're tied.
That's a great find by Maurice Howard. That's not an easy pass at all, but that was on point. He was able to catch in traffic and finish.
I mean, it wasn't a bounce pass for a dunk like we saw last night, but it was a nice pass. McDice gets it again and has it knocked away. One more look for Pine-Bluff. Can't get it. One more offensive rebound and a foul. Pine-Bluff crashing the offensive glass, and it's going to pay off. 4 offensive rebounds already.
We spoke with Coach Robinson prior to this game. He said, look, defensive rebounding was going to be key in this game. Right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff is dominating the offensive glass early on in this game.
That's fouls on Scott. That will be his first. Take a look at Sean Doss, 67% from the line this year. Here's Montez Robinson in his 4th season at Alcorn. Really proud of how he's turned his team's academic situation around.
And he really stressed that when he first took over. And he said, look, I wanted to make a point of that all my guys graduated. That has been a key theme for him. He's had 100% graduation over these last few years. And it's a testament to him and the energy him and his staff, his academic staff, put into these young men, preparing them for when they finish basketball.
Nearly intercepted that time by Scott. Corner 3, and another offensive rebound. That's 5. Now here's McKnight. He has a green light, by the way, if you're wondering. He can shoot from anywhere in the city of Pine-Bluff, and his coach, George Ivory, is perfectly all right with that.
The preseason SWAC Player of the Year. That one was almost at half court. I wish I had that green light when I was playing. Man, but he can back it up. Right now leading the SWAC in points per game.
There is George Ivory. His 11th season. They went to the 2010 NCAA tournament and won the play-in game against Winthrop and then ran into Duke. Coach could play a little ball, too, by the way, in his day.
Sure could. He was definitely a great player and really doing it. Both these coaches doing a great job with their respective programs.
Carter with the interception. McKnight, I thought I saw a hand there, and I was waiting for the whistle on Crosby, and he got a hand on the jersey, so it'll be on Tremaine Crosby. It'll be his first against the sophomore. Few substitutions in now for Pine-Bluff. Isaac Bassey, number 33, has come in, a tall freshman, junior, 6'11". Alonzo Campbell, number 42, is guarding him. And the purple and gold for Alcorn. Here's Bassey. Lefty hook. And a big rebound in traffic by Crosby.
Man, he got up high for that rebound.
And he's going to get an assist out of it, too, as Maurice Howard has started a new three-point shot streak.
You better pick him up as soon as he crosses half court, because he is a guy that will pull up from anywhere. This was a quick 3 right here. Too much airspace, and he's going to make you pay. Maurice Howard, again, already over 76 threes coming into this game. That's 77.
No matter what, Duke versus North Carolina always delivers. Catch these two go head-to-head on Wednesday, 9 Eastern, ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's new Made to Crave menu, available at participating restaurants now. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. And Angry Orchard Hard Cider, naturally refreshing.
So you take a look at what happened in 2010, running into Duke. And George Ivory has had great success at Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and his team looking strong in conference play. Remember, when you look at some of these, you look also at the MEAC and also at the SWAC, you have to understand that these schools take their lumps early. They schedule some of the best teams in the nation, gives them a financial opportunity, also gives them a chance to play some great competition as they get ready for the conference. So overall one-loss records can be very deceiving.
They really can, and right now in this game, though, we're seeing both teams going to the zone. A lot of 2-3 and 1-3-1 zones.
That was a fantastic pass from Marquel Carter, leading to the dunk.
And that's how you want to break down the zone. Don't settle for jumpers. Work the ball around, get a little dribble penetration, draw a defender, and then that's a beautiful dump-off pass.
That's a tough corner 3, well contested that time. And Alcorn finally got an offensive rebound. That's going to lead to a foul as we take a look at that perfect pass into the dunk.
Yeah, it was great execution right here. Don't settle for the 3. Dribble, drive, draw a defender. Help was late. Timing was perfect, and you can't execute it any better. A zone offense.
So Kobe Wilson will inbound as Alcorn continues to substitute. Crosby's going to check out now.
Key out of the zone. You've got to find number 11. If you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Maurice Howard, he's got a beyond NBA three-point range.
Bassey will be hit with that foul.
Foul is on the Golden Lions, number 33, Isaac Lawson. That will be his first personal second team foul.
And going to the line will be Deshaun Andrews. Andrews, a junior from York, South Carolina.
Andrews coming off a pretty good game on Saturday where he had a team-high 14 points, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, and 4 rebounds in 17 minutes.
And we have an issue with a uniform here, and all right. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I thought something was goofy here because we started scratching our heads when we saw number 4 for Alcorn come out. That's actually Kari Jabril Allen, number 5. So what's going to happen here, because it was put incorrectly in the scorebook, it's a technical foul against the Braves. What they call an administrative technical foul, because it wasn't for behavior. And that's going to be a couple of free throws here. McKnight will take those, and then we'll just go back as if nothing ever happened. He got 1 shot out of that. That ties our score at 9. And now Alcorn's going to have to, they sort of got a free timeout out of this, but the officials are hustling them out of there.
And that's the type of stuff that drives coaches crazy. And let's see, as this game progresses, if it's a tight game, that's just a freebie you just gave up.
Andrews, 65% from the line. Very good defensive player. Top 5 in the conference in steals. And the Braves go back ahead by a point. Yeah, that's an unusual one to see a technical foul called for an improper uniform. Oh, another great look and another slam for Isaac Bassey. This time it was Marcus Wallace with a gorgeous feed.
Well, he got caught up in the air, but looked away like he was going to kick it out to the wing. He found right underneath the basket for a wide open, uncontested dunk.
Correct. That was actually Hardy, number 10, not 14 with the pass. Either way, Bassey's had 2 great feeds so far. Andrews on the drive. Offensive foul will be called on Deshaun Andrews.
Twice now, some nice ball movement. That's just a beautiful find. Little jump pass. Again, he got caught up in the air, Hardy, and then a little look off. Nice pass down to Bassey, and that's a strong finish.
And jump passes are sometimes frowned upon by coaches, but that one was absolutely perfect.
Alcorn State continues to stay in looks like a 2-3 matchup zone now. If you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you want to try to get the ball to the center of the court, that foul line extended area.
They're a long way from home, and they've got 5 to shoot. McKnight will take it. Shot was rejected, and the Braves will come back the other way, trailing by a point. And there is Maurice Howard. One of the real dead-eye shooters really in the whole country, not just the SWAC. Good rebound and controlled by Doss. He's open. He's tempted. He's in the book for 3. Sean Doss. 26% three-point shooter. He hesitated a little bit, but he was just left open. He had to take it.
Yeah, they were daring him to shoot that one. Took a long time, thought about it, and then let it fly. High arcing shot, found nothing but the bottom of the net.
That's going to be a turnover on Allen. Again, he's wearing number 4, not number 5. If you're a Braves fan watching this game wondering who that is.
Here, take a look at Doss. They're just daring him to shoot. And as you said, 26% from the three-point line. They're trying to play the percentages. Alcorn State that time, though, Doss made him pay.
And we'll see if that happens again. It'll be interesting to see if he gets another opportunity. You see the net there actually touching the rim from this shot. Not anymore as Mark Bell Carter makes sure the net's taken care of. And Pine Bluff has their largest lead on the 7-0 run.
On that previous possession, that's a nice duck-in pass by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Alcorn State was working on defending that. They said, look, you can't get pinned. You got to be on the other side. Don't get pinned underneath the basket because they're going to try to do that high-low action. But that's great execution by Arkansas Pine-Bluff that time. Nice high-low action they had there.
That foul call on Doss is his first. Crosby gets it back. Howard is left open. Good box out underneath by Bassey, allowing Carter to get the rebound. Here's your two big scorers going at it right now. McKnight, that's a tough shot, missed it.
Early on, Alcorn State's done a nice job contesting McKnight's shots. You know he's going to get his. You just want to make sure they're contested shots.
I don't know if he's had an easy one yet.
No, he has not. They've been in his shirt the whole first half thus far.
Howard spins, floats, chipped the front of the rim. Rebound still being fought for. And finally winds up in the hands of Isaac Bassey, who's made some big contributions in his time out on the floor.
Let's see if Pine Bluff goes back down low. They got a clear size advantage, height advantage.
He was tempted, Doss, and decided to shoot it again. And that time, you can see the results weren't as favorable. Reginald Johnson back in 24. Brewer. And hook shot falls for Devon Brewer, a junior out of Georgia, the lone returning starter for Montez Robinson from a season ago.
And his cousin is Jay Crowder, the power forward for the Utah Jazz.
Good player.
That's a nice move right there. Certainly would be Jay Crowder would be proud of that move there. That's a strong finish. Not bad D, just better offense.
Bassey looking, and he finally got rid of it. Here's McKnight with 3 to shoot. Again, that tough little fadeaway, and again, he's coming up short. Howard's doing a nice job on him, not giving him any space.
And that's what you want to do against great scorers. Just make them take tough shots. They're going to get points. You just don't want them to get any easy looks. And thus far, Alcorn State doing a nice job.
Be a whistle there. It's enough contact to draw the ire of the officials. That will be on Isaac Bassey. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff trying to get to 8-5 in the conference. Alcorn had a tough loss on Saturday. They're trying to bounce back.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Rivalry week rolling on with Super Tuesday doubleheader. Number 5 Tennessee lost against Kentucky Saturday night. Man, Kentucky looked good too. Looks to bounce back against Vandy at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Just a nightmare year for Vanderbilt. Then Coach Cal and number 4 Kentucky in Columbia. The Battle of the Tigers. Both games on ESPN on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. You know, when you go to the HBCUs, you often see athletic legends, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff has theirs in the great L.C. Greenwood.
Yeah, drafted in 1969, the 10th round, 238th overall pick, and what a legendary career he had.
6-time Pro Bowler, 4 rings with the Steelers, playing alongside Mean Joe Green. And it was Arkansas AM&N in those days, before they became Arkansas Pine-Bluff. But yeah, he was a fantastic player.
4 rings.
Yeah, he had the gold shoes too. He used to wear the gold shoes, so because Joe Green got all the attention because he was Joe Green, and L.C. Greenwood wore gold shoes, so people would pay a little more attention to him.
Well, the history of the SWAC schools is just really unbelievable. Some of the legends that they've put out, not only athletically, but just in general, really it's just amazing. And anytime you come to these schools, you're always going to find something like that. But certainly, he was one of the best.
There's no doubt. And I'm shocked to find out that he sort of had a couple of chances to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame and is not in, and I'm really surprised at that. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. He was tremendous. We get back to our game here with a turnover on Pine-Bluff on an offensive foul. 3-ball. And now there is a jump ball. That's an interesting decision for the referee. I almost yelled hook and hold because we're getting so sensitive to that call, but that was a jump ball, and the possession arrow means it will stay with Alcorn. We take a look at the SWAC standings. What's important here is only 8 get to play in the postseason in the SWAC. You do not qualify if you're below 8. So right now, Alabama, A&M, and Alcorn are on that cut line. You see a block shot there. And right now, in the middle of it all, Pine Bluff tied with Grambling. That's a good Grambling team. But Pine Bluff also is going to have to play some tough opponents coming up ahead. So in the Texas region, where they are really brutal this year.
You know, Dave, I like that format, and I actually like the old Ivy format as well, too, where it makes the regular season count, where it's not where you have a team that gets hot and plays out of their mind and has an upset against a team that really showed consistency all throughout the year. So it makes every game count.
And also the conference tournaments to me aren't as important as they used to be. There's another great pass underneath, and because now so many teams in the bigger conferences get in. You basically have to show up and finish 500 if you're in a power conference.
Yeah, this game right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff doing a nice job passing. They've been able to get some high percentage shots off of some interior passing or post feeds. They're doing a nice job being patient on offense and then getting some high percentage looks at the rim.
Under 7 buckets, they have 6 assists. Especially down low, they've been able to find open players. McKnight trying to get his offense ignited, and at the moment, it is not there for him. So, Malcolm, when you're like that, do you just shoot your way out of it, or do you find other ways to contribute?
Well, I think you got to find other ways, but credit Maurice Howard. He's doing a nice job contesting his shots. He's really bothered a lot of his shots. He's not had one open look, maybe with the exception of a deep NBA 3, but other than that, everything's been contested.
Oh, that was a nice little move there by Brewer, but he couldn't finish against McDice. Now McKnight. Cameron Posey has the ball now, a sophomore for the Golden Lions. Oh, that's classic YMCA right there. Up and under and good for Sean Doss, who's had a strong offensive start to his game.
You can't do it any better. Dribble, drive, get to the lane, give him a little up fake, and come back up. Another uncontested layup for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
That is an and one opportunity. A strongly contested effort by McDice, but Brewer just had the drop on him. And so we'll get a look at Brewer going to the line.
Sean Doss with the up and under. A nice move by the sophomore. And then right here, strong finish.
When late night cravings strike, you can now get rewarded and keep the party going. Introducing a rewards program made to keep modern life moving.
This week is rivalry week, and Wednesday will have the best of the best. Number 8, North Carolina, battling Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, and that number 1 Duke squad at Cameron Indoor in a Sonic blockbuster, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere. They split the last 8 meetings, as you would think, and you take a look at the program comparisons. And they are both blue bloods, just different color blue.
Love them or hate them, there is no better rivalry in college basketball. I'd argue in any really sport, it's probably one of the best going on right now. And any time these two teams get together, you can expect fireworks.
It would be in college sports. It has to be in the top 5 in football and basketball. It'd have to be. You can debate where, and you can have a good time with all of that. It's a good bar conversation. But yes, for basketball, I think it is number 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, and I'm not sure it's even close. Certainly one of the best, and it's been going on for a very long time. Well, Martavius McKnight came into this game leading the SWAC, 22 points per game, and tonight he's got 1. You got to credit Alcorn State, in particular. Maurice Howard has done a nice job on him, a one-on-one when he's been isolated with him, and that was a key coming into this game. Anytime you play Arkansas Pine-Bluff, how you defend McKnight, that's going to be a key.
So off the traveling violation. Alcorn with a chance. Here's Maurice Howard. So both of our scorers, Howard and McKnight, kind of quiet. And as soon as we say that, Howard is left enough room, but he hits the back of the iron. And the rebound controlled finally by Pine Bluff. And here is McKnight. So if you're George Ivory, you have a 5-point lead, and your main guy hasn't gotten going yet. That shot well off the mark. And if you're Alcorn, you're only down 5, but you have to be worried that McKnight hasn't gotten going yet. Howard will try again. That's off the iron, no good. Good position, and the rebound by Alonzo Campbell, the 7-footer out of Portland, Oregon.
Nice work on the offensive glass, and he didn't bring it back down either. A lot of times bigs will bring that one back down. He went right back up with it, finished with the left. Well, what's worked for Arkansas Pine-Bluff is interior. Not settling for jumpers. Try to get the ball down low inside and let your bigs go to work.
3 to shoot this. Floater from the corner, chip the rim, and the rebound goes to Howard. So Pine Bluff going kind of cold here. And Howard forced Posey into that foul. Posey again trying to find his car keys. He just kept reaching in. He couldn't find them.
Right here, take a look at nice work on the offensive glass by Alonzo Campbell, the 7-footer. That's a nice touch. That's not an easy shot for a big to go right back up. It was kind of an awkward angle as well, too, but great hands, nice soft touch as well.
We're to the bonus already for the Braves. 1-on-1 opportunity for Maurice Howard. He is a 94% free throw shooter. Leads the conference in minutes per game. Played 40 minutes on Saturday night, the 7th time he has done that this year, and it's a 7-0 run now for Alcorn, and they cut the lead to 1.
Alcorn doing a nice job changing up their defense. Now they extend their pressure, little 3-quarter court pressure, and it looks like they're going to fall back into that 3-2 matchup zone.
But McKnight was open for a second. Howard rushed over to close that window. And we're deep into the shot clock again. Now Davis will fire, and that's going to hit the clock, and so that's going to be another miss. Anthony Davis, a freshman from Shaw, Mississippi, got a look at it. 5'9" guard. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff at the moment, the Golden Lions are just gone dry offensively.
And you can see what Alcorn State is doing. They're daring them to shoot 3-pointers. Now that's not working in the favor of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Early in this game, they were going down low to their bigs. Now they've started to settle for jumpers. That's playing right into Alcorn State's plan.
Left open, lefty look, and chipped the rim, did Andrews. But he gets it back, and the run is 9-0, and Alcorn goes in front.
Campbell did a nice job clearing out off of that offensive rebound. Looks like he cleared the way for Andrews. Heads up play by both.
And Alcorn continuing to trap, but leaves a man open. Shots are not falling right now, even the open ones. They've missed. Well, about to say they were cold, and then Charles Jackson lights it up from 3. And that is his thing, Malcolm.
Yeah, came into this game close to 40% from beyond the arc. That was a wide open look.
And that's his career. 69% of his shots as a college basketball player, and he's a senior, have been three-point attempts. That was a bad break. That shot was about a third of the way down for Campbell. Campbell hustles back, and he's going to be called for the foul. Look for the second, and maybe he had blocked Chris Smith's shot, but instead it's going to be a foul on Campbell, his first.
Alcorn State on a little bit of a run. Deshaun Andrews with the offensive rebound putback.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Mountain Dew, Do the Do, and Papa John's, large Philly cheesesteak pizza, just $12.
Take a look at the Clinton Presidential Library in Little Rock, and we are about a 50-minute drive or so away in Pine Bluff, and that's our score and time, 3:16 to go with Arkansas Pine-Bluff up by 2. They're shooting only 34.6% as opposed to 47% for Alcorn. And at the line will be Chris Smith. A nice touch there for the redshirt junior, his first point of the night. And Martavius McKnight hasn't made a basket. He is 0 for 4. Does have a point on a free throw, and that was a technical foul that was called earlier for Alcorn having a player with an improper number. So quiet day so far, but again, Golden Lions are ahead.
And neither team really shooting the ball that well from the three-point line. Alcorn at 25% and Arkansas Pine-Bluff at 20%. A lot of contested shots. So both teams doing a nice job defending the three-point line.
So they'll try it too. To the floor, and that's going to be a tough out-of-bounds call for the officials to make, and they ruled it in favor of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and they'll go to the bench, and again, Artavius McDyess will come in, number 24.
Yeah, both teams getting after it right here. Loose ball situation, and really hard to tell, but the referees are right there.
And they are ready to get the ball out of that guy's hands. He'll get it back, but Maurice Howard, we knew he could play offense, Malcolm, but he has done an excellent job defensively.
Really has, and I like what Alcorn's doing too. Out of their zone, they're trapping sometimes when the ball goes to the wing, so they got Arkansas Pine-Bluff guessing, even out of the zone, what they're going to do, giving them different looks every time down the court.
Well, they had forced the turnover, and then they gave it right back, and a fresh shot clock, and so McKnight will try to settle this thing down. He got hit that time. I guess he just decided if I can't make a shot, I'm going to force something.
And that's a smart play. If you're struggling shooting the ball as a scorer, don't settle for jumpers. Try to get yourself to the free throw line. That time he got isolated with Howard. He said, listen, I've been settling for jumpers. Let me see if I can drive the ball to the basket, get on the free throw line. That's a heads-up play by McKnight.
He's solid from the line at 70%, and he hasn't been shooting well. From 3 in his last 6 games coming in here, he had been 8 of 26, and he's missed a 3 tonight, so 8 of 27 in his last just about 6.5 games. So he'll try to figure out another way to score, and he is 2 for 2 from the line.
And he leads the SWAC in scoring, and really nobody's even close. He's the next guy down below him from his 22 points is at least 7 points away. So really one of the most prolific scorers in the SWAC conference.
He's the player of the year last year. He was the preseason player of the year. Under 2 minutes. And now it's been about 3 minutes since the Braves have scored. You talk the cliche with basketball, it's a game of runs, but this game is absolute evidence of that tonight. It's been 7-0 for one side, 9-0 for another, 7-0 for another. It's just been like that all first half.
And both teams doing it with a lot of zone. And typically when you play in zone, you're going to give up a lot of open threes. That has not been the case in this game at all for both teams. They're doing a nice job knowing their assignments, but you got to communicate in the zone. Take a look at a turnover by Alcorn.
That'd be number 5 for them. 3 so far for the Golden Lions of Arkansas at Pine-Bluff.
Watch Alcorn State. See if they trap out of this zone. They've been doing that a lot, where ball goes to the corner and they will trap.
Something else I've noticed that Pine-Bluff has had to go deep in the shot clock frequently, and we're at 6 right now. That's travel. Smith forgot the dribble. Coming up to the 1-minute mark in a rapidly moving first half.
Big possession for Alcorn State here. See if they can get some offensive momentum going into the half.
It's going to be interesting because just based on what you said and what we've seen, both coaches have to be utterly thrilled with their defenses. They should be. They're playing really hard on the ball. The offense, not so much. Open opportunity here. Rimmed out. Rebound. Andrews. Another look, maybe. And just a steal that time by Smith. He'll get it back and got it in. And now it's a 9-0 run for Pine-Bluff. They had been behind by a point till all of this started.
That's a beautiful fast break. A little give and go off the steal. And that was not an easy pass. Catch and finish, but right here, good hands. Give it up, get it back. That's classic give and go right there, and beautiful basketball in transition by Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Timeout called by Alcorn, but 19.7 left. Montez Robinson and his staff going up against George Ivory and his staff. That is Ivory right there. His defense has kept Alcorn off the board for 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to be pleased. That last outing, January 21st, Arkansas Pine-Bluff fell to Alcorn State 74-69.
Let's see what the play called here by Montez Robinson and his staff will be. If we're under 10, Howard, you have to think he's the leading suspect to shoot it. But Andrews will go into traffic and come up with nothing, and he's a little bit slow getting up, too. Hopefully he is going to be okay. So 4 minutes and 18 seconds. The Braves are blanked by the Golden Lions defense. A 9-0 run over that period to give Arkansas Pine-Bluff an 8-point advantage as they seek to stay in that battle for the top 4 in the SWAC in the regular season. This is Big Monday, presented by Wendy's, part of Rivalry Week. And we are inside the SWAC on Big Monday. Alcorn State did not score over 4 minutes at the end of the first half. And Pine-Bluff goes on a 9-0 run to take the lead as we get ready for half number 2. Hello, I'm Malcolm Huckabee. Dave Lamont, thank you very much for joining us. And Malcolm, we talked at the beginning of the broadcast about our great shooters. Neither one of them has really gotten going. This has kind of been a game where defense has dictated.
Yeah, both teams really struggle from beyond the arc in the first half. 20% for both teams from the three-point line, but it's been the offensive rebounding that has been the storyline of this game. And you look at what Arkansas Pine-Bluff was able to do in the first half. As we said, it was cold shooting, but offensive rebounds and second-chance points. Arkansas Pine-Bluff had 9 second-chance points in that first half. Right there, nice interior passing off the offensive rebound. Again, another miss. Crash the offensive glass. Get another possession for your team. Work the ball around, and that has been the story. High percentage shots at the rim after misses. And then right here, their defense, they were very active in that 2-3 matchup zone. And then it was off the races. Beautiful give, go. You can't do it any better right there. And that is the story of the first half.
Pine Bluff and the home whites will get a chance to start things off here from our center court position, and we're underway. Again, the officials, Charles James, Marcus Pettigrew, and Michael Wallace. And no player in any significant foul trouble.
Alcorn State comes back out in the 2-3 matchup zone to start the second half.
And a rebound control by Reginald Johnson. Tapped up, tapped once by Johnson, tapped again, and Pine Bluff controls, and the drought continues. Remember, it was 4:18 of the first half, 4:18 left. The last time the Braves put any points on the board, so in clock time and in real time, it's been a long time since they have scored. It's a tough hook shot, good defense, and body provided there by Brewer. It's saved, and a fresh shot clock for the Golden Lions. Tavius McKnight didn't make a basket, but scored 3 free throws in the first half. He's the leading scorer in the SWAC, and that's going to be a foul. Maurice Howard will be hit with that foul. And that's only his first.
When you look at the numbers for McKnight, 3 points, averaging 22 for the season, 0 for 4. Giving Maurice Howard a lot of credit. He did a nice job in that first half when he got matched up with him, not allowing him to get any high-quality looks. But for Alcorn State right now, they got to figure out their interior defense, in particular defensive rebounding as well, too. That was a problem for them in the first half. They can't give up these second-chance points and offensive rebounds to Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Well, it's the largest lead. The first time either side has had a double-digit lead, and it's an 11-0 run now for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They need to get their top scorer, Maurice Howard, deadly three-point shooter. That's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow, favoring Alcorn State. Howard was only 1 for 4, although his one basket was a 3. Number 11 in the purple and gold. We're going to have a little bit of a foul call that time. That should be on Terrence Banyard.
I like what Alcorn State's trying to do coming out in the second half. Don't settle for jumpers. Try to drive the ball to the basket, either get to the free throw line or get some layups. But in the first half, they settled for a lot of contested threes.
That was a great closeout there by Banyard, because as soon as Howard got it, I'm sure his brain said shoot it, and Banyard prevented that, ended up forcing the turnover. So at the moment, Montez Robinson's Braves are struggling to put the ball in the basket. And turned over that time by Pine Bluff.
Let's see if they get somebody to that high post area. Try to get a little high-low action, or maybe you get a soft spot right there down low.
Well, Brewer's been okay underneath, and McDyess is all over him. And the rebound, Johnson, that's swatted into the bench. A solid rejection that time by Banyard.
Great interior D. Now, the only thing I'll say is if you got a chance to block that and keep possession, yes, it looks good for the camera crew, but Alcorn State still has the ball. In that situation, if you can block it and then keep possession, obviously that's better for your team.
But only 5 to shoot. Brewer. No. And a big rebound in traffic provided that time by Sean Doss. It's been a nice night. Interior pass and going up for it was Banyard. Off the pass from Markwell Carter.
In transition. That's another nice interior pass. That was not an easy pass. 3 guys for Alcorn State right around him. He was able to thread the needle.
Hey, Malcolm, while we have a second, we have somebody who's very precious to the Pine-Bluff community and to Arkansas Pine-Bluff that we want to say hello to on behalf of everybody here and all the Golden Lions. Their number 1 fan, Greg Walker, who is laid up in the hospital temporarily. He'll be out, but he couldn't make the game tonight. Normally, he is as much a part of a Pine-Bluff basketball game as the team and as the coaches. And everybody on the Arkansas Pine-Bluff staff talked about him today and how much they miss him being here. We know he's watching, and so I believe the team sent him a card, maybe even visited with him today. So, Greg, we hope you get it out of there quickly and get back to being a big part of this community.
Yeah, I echo what you were saying. Everybody has meant so much to this community, and everybody, that was the first thing they started talking about when we started asking about this program and community, and they went right to Greg Walker, their number 1 fan, and means so much to so many people around here. Get well, Greg.
Yeah, the officials met, by the way, on that possession, changed the call, and gave the ball to Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Well, community is a big thing that George Ivory talked about, and how he likes to have his players out and about in the public during the season.
Says they visit a different church on Sundays. They want these guys out there, young men, to know and be involved with the community as they're able to get a generous role. But certainly,
that was McKnight's first basket, by the way, and it's a huge run, 16-0, stretching back to the first half. Doss, beautiful finish. I think a timeout is going to be called here. That's exactly what's going to happen. Montez Robinson has seen enough. And the run now 18-0. Again, the last basket for Alcorn State was 4:18 left in the first half.
Yeah, they're starting to heat up now. The leading scorer in the SWAC gets the generous roll, McKnight, and then right here in transition with the finger roll. Right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff on a roll.
Helps with homeowners insurance?
They sure do.
I'm calling Geico right now. Cell phone.
See how much you can save on homeowners insurance.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the do. And Papa John's. Large Philly cheesesteak pizza, just $12.
So there's a man right there who's got a dilemma. He's got a team that has not scored in 8 minutes and 4 seconds of action, stretching back to the first half. They've been outscored during that period 18-0, and they have missed their last 12 field goals. And speaking of 0 for 12, that's their record away from home. 1 neutral site game and 0 of 11 outside of that.
Well, plenty of time left. They don't need to settle for threes. They need more of that right there.
There you go. That stops that. And the run at least has been chipped away. And finally, the Braves are on the board.
And you can tell Coach Robinson talked to them about that. They were settling for jumpers. You can see the percentages are not in their favor right now, 16% from beyond the arc.
McDice off the window. How much of that, Malcolm, was a product of Pine Bluff's defense?
I think it was more, yes, the defense, the zone that they're playing right now, they're extending it. But what they got to do is they got to try to get somebody to that high post area against this zone or to the short corner. You can't just float the ball around the perimeter and then shoot a contested three late in the shot clock.
Open three, missed. Rebound tapped around off of Johnson. Great hustle by Howard. Almost threw it away, and then it is turned over. Doss. Big finish slam! They got up on their feet here in anticipation that Doss would be able to do that, and he did not let them down.
All set up by their defense. They are active in this 3-2 matchup zone.
And a much quieter basket scored by Reginald Johnson. Just as important. They needed that. And he probably did too, senior from Monroe, Louisiana. And it's not been McKnight that's provided the offense, although he has 6. It's Doss who has 15 tonight. Oh, McDyess trailed that rebound, and a beautiful feed, and off the window. McDyess did all of that up until the layup.
Another second chance opportunity. That's all set up by McDyess. Great work on the offensive glass, then an unselfish pass.
Back to the attack, J.L. Scott.
And Dave, what happens a lot of times, Alcorn State right now, they're getting beat on the offensive glass because they're not blocking out of the zone. And that's the toughest thing to do in a zone defense, to get your block out assignments. And right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff is just dominating the offensive glass.
Well, there's a steal off the pass by Carter. Good hands there by Deshaun Andrews, who is very good. Top 5 in the SWAC in steals. That's what he does. And Johnson with a 3 to cut it to 14. Reginald Johnson, a 28% three-point shooter, able to can that one.
He's just a warrior. He's a guy out there, great story, basically playing on a broken leg. And the coaching staff just rave about his toughness, what he brings to this Alcorn State program. 2 big buckets for him.
Carter missing. Spectacular rebound by Banyard. Second chance. And that's out of bounds off of Pine Bluff and will belong to Alcorn. And a big finish here.
Let me introduce you to Sean Doss. A big-time finish. Right now, Arkansas Pine-Bluff on a roll. Take off, young fella.
Artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of tomorrow, today.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how do we feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft AI, we make predictions about when to plant, when to irrigate, and when to harvest. Now we can reduce waste and produce more food.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
These days, we all feel a little anxious sometimes. So I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you that how you're doing emotionally affects you physically. Go for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you're feeling.
Physically and emotionally, body and mind.
Over to the highlights of any visit to the SWAC. Marching bands and the music you get here. In the meantime, we got a Sonic blockbuster for you with North Carolina and Duke coming up Wednesday at 9 Eastern. It'll be on ESPN and, of course, streaming on the app. So wherever you are Wednesday night, if you got plans, you can take Duke and North Carolina with you. 46th meeting with both of them in the AP Top 10. And that is a clear-cut winner. So that'll be a fun Wednesday evening. Dave Lamont, Malcolm Huckabee here courtside at Clemens Arena on the campus of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Southwestern Athletic Conference action. This started things off in the SWAC tonight. Well, good steal. Excellent hands there by Marquel Carter. Excuse me, that's Charles Jackson, number 1. Marcus Wallace in the game now. We're going to some reserves. Travel. McKnight really trying to force the issue there. He has been very quiet offensively for the top scorer in the conference.
And that time Alcorn State went to man-to-man. They came out of that matchup zone. And I like that move. I think that's better for their blockout assignments. They've been struggling with shoring up their defensive glass. So go to man, see if we can get Arkansas Pine-Bluff off the offensive glass.
Yeah, you saw McKnight averages 22 per. He has just 6 tonight. He's missed 5 shots out of 6 and has turned it over now 2 times. And a tough rebound in traffic for Wallace. And he got bumped and hit and fouled. We'll step aside. Alcorn's defense is doing better, but they still trail by 14.
We're not famous. We're just a small Georgia town of complete unknowns. Because we are not known for who we are, we hope to be known for what we do. No, we are not famous. But we are incredible, and we make incredible things.
When I went on to Ancestry, I just put in the name of my parents and my grandparents. And as soon as I did that, literally, it was like you're getting 7, 9, 10, 15 leaves that are just popping up all over the place.
It was amazing. Just with a little bit of information, you can take leaps and bounds.
It's an awesome experience.
We have 4 games scheduled in the conference tonight. This is the only one that has started yet. We have Prairie View and Grambling going at it. Texas Southern will be in Jackson, and Southern takes on Mississippi Valley State. All those coming up. They'll tip in about 10 minutes. We take a look. And our score, 44-30. And George Ivory, and he understands getting a team to the NCAA tournament. Did it in 2010. We take a look at the last 10 tournament champions. This year, the tournament will be in Birmingham, Alabama. And only 8 get to play. The first round sites are home, and then they finish off the Final Fours for the men and the women in Birmingham in a couple of weeks. Actually, about 3 weeks, I believe. Season's almost over.
Yeah, always a fun time of the year as we get closer to March. Right now, Alcorn State picked up their D a little bit, and
I wonder if Martavius McKnight can get going. That gives him 500 points already on the season.
Well, here's the problem if you're Alcorn State. If you go man-to-man, and now you have the leading scorer in the SWAC, if he starts heating up, you might have to go back into that zone. He is just too good of a scorer to match up individually with.
And he has struggled tonight, but is starting to show signs of thawing out. 7 to shoot. That looks too strong. Oh, he got it off the glass.
Now, you got to call glass. If you're from that angle right there with a guy draped over you, but you'll take it if you're Alcorn State. That is a tough 3.
From that angle, I almost thought that was going to airball and ends up going in for Kari Jabril Allen. That's good solid footwork underneath by Isaac Bassey, who's had a tidy night. That gives him 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Good patience by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Again, going to the matchup they want. The previous possession, they went to McKnight. At that time, they got the ball down low. And that's just a high percentage shot by Bassey. Took his time. Nice little spin move.
Campbell comes right back with a flipper on the hook. And Alcorn finding their offense, Malcolm. They've made 6 of the last 8. The question is this hole too big?
Well, I think the biggest thing they've done is they've settled down, and now they're starting to get the ball in the paint.
And he's starting to get the ball to the basket. Now McKnight with double digits.
That's problematic if you're Alcorn State. And now you have the leading scorer in the SWAC, Martavius McKnight, starting to heat up.
3 ball, no good out of the corner. Wallace getting some good playing time. Crosby will try his luck with McKnight, who forgot something and got it back. Yeah, that's a double dribble. Charles Jackson couldn't handle that. Watch this again. I can't believe this went in.
Well, you got to call glass from that angle right there. That is tough. But then right here, the leading scorer in the SWAC, Martavius McKnight. That's a beautiful mid-range jumper. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He is so tough to match up with.
It's an 18-0 run that's stretched out over the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. And that's why Arkansas Pine-Bluff has been able to stay in front by double digits as we approach 9 minutes left. Here's a three ball, and it's going to be a three-point opportunity at the foul line for Allen.
So miscommunication on the 3-2 matchup zone. It looked like they were almost going box and one. They were chasing Maurice Howard around, and no communication. That's just a breakdown. You do not want to foul a three-point shooter.
And a very good free throw shooter at that. Allen, 81%. More. So Brewer will come back in for Campbell for the Braves. And Sean Doss, 15 points, will come in, and Charles Jackson will check out. So you've got Doss with 15, and now McKnight is getting going. He's got 11. Made all three. Down to 12.
Now Alcorn comes out, goes through some full court pressure.
Wide open look for the three-pointer, buried by Marquel Carter.
That's just unselfish basketball. McKnight draws so much attention. That time he had three defenders around him. Unselfish play, kicked it right back out to a wide open three.
A little battle underneath between the bigs, and looks like Isaac Bassey is going to be caught. The 233s, Brewer and Bassey are going at it. Looks like Bassey will be hit with a foul.
And this is just unselfish right here. McKnight surrounded, kick it out to Carter. That's just excellent basketball, unselfish, good ball movement, and a wide open three.
That's three on Bassey. He is the first player to reach that tonight. Off the inbound, good patience shown by Allen. Can't get that baseline J to go. Knight almost out of bounds, had to flick it to get rid of it, otherwise he could have turned the ball over. Carter will try again. Back to back, Jack. What you have to be happy about if you're George Ivory is McKnight probably won't get his average tonight. There's a turnover, but they're getting help. Doss in the first half particularly, and now Carter in these last two shots.
Well, the spacing has been excellent for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Marquel Carter on fire from beyond the arc. Well, Sean Doss has had himself a nice game for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He is filling up the stat sheet. 15 points, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 of 6 from the floor. He continues to play well for them, and then finish it off with a monster dunk right here in transition. Take off. You look at what he's done in his last 3 games coming into this, averaging 17 points a game. He was shooting 68% from the floor. He continues his hot streak. He is just balling out for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And 15, 5 rebounds, even 3 assists. He assisted on that last Carter basket, and he goes to the rack here, and he draws contact. Brewer hit with that foul.
And it's not been a forced, he's getting points, but they've all been within the flow of the offense or off of turnovers, out in transition. He really plays with a lot of poise, and I like how he picks his spots on the court.
And he eased that foul shot in. He's 5 for 5 from the line tonight. Now a game high 16 points. 67% from the line.
He's also been very active defensively. Look at his last 5 games. He's averaging close to 3 steals in that 5-game stretch. So very active in their man-to-man or their 3-2 or 2-3 matchup zones.
Largest lead of the night. By the way, that last free throw for Doss, he's made 100 so far this season. Step back. Nice shot by J.L. Scott, sophomore out of Charlotte.
His dad, Sean, was a pretty good basketball player at Fresno State.
Whistle away from the ball. And it's going to go against Alcorn State. So something underneath that Scott did drew the attention of the officials. That's 3 on JL. So he may be checking out of the game here in a moment. It looks like that's Shaw Andrews going to come in. And instead, it will be Reginald Johnson. We mentioned Johnson missed all of last year recovering from a broken leg. So his minutes are being monitored very carefully by Montez Robinson and his other coaches.
Well, he's still not 100% and probably won't be for this season, but as we talked about earlier, told his coaches he wanted to be out on the court.
I liked that. That was real old-fashioned post play where they allowed the players to bang into each other and let Bassey get off a shot, which he made. Excellent officiating there.
I think overall it's been a clean game by the officials. They've done a nice job.
Ooh, and that's going to be an and one opportunity as over late was Bassey. And Brewer was able to benefit from that, and that's going to be 4 on Isaac Bassey.
Well, Alcorn State has shown flashes of being able to break down this zone. That's a beautiful find. Right on time, right on point by J.L. Scott. And beautiful finish with the left hand. But that's what you want to do when a team is extending their zone, as Arkansas Pine-Bluff has done all game. You got to get some dribble drives. Try to break down that zone with either some passes to the high post or dribble drives, and then try to go from there.
And I'm wondering if they're going to come to the monitor, which happens to be next to us for a change. Normally it is on the opposite side, so they're going to look as to whether or not that's going to be a flagrant foul on a shot to the face. It looked, as you could see, Brewer was taking a little bit of time to recover, so we're going to join there with him. Normally, just so folks know, the monitor is located opposite the TV side, but here it's the same. So the issue is, are they going to make this a flagrant foul or leave it the original call, which is just a common foul?
Well, the problem is that he looks like he's making a play on the ball, and I think they're just going to have it as a common foul. It looked like he was just swinging.
That is the greatest replay in the history of replays in college sports.
And I love it.
Football, basketball, you'll never do it better than that. They looked at it once, and that was it. They made the call. They like it. They're not upgrading the foul. It's going to stay a regular foul, or what's called a common foul. That is how replay should be used.
And I echo what you're saying. There's not a lot there. You look at it, he's trying to block his shot. He did catch a little bit of him, but there was nothing, and I think it's the intent when you look at it, where if a guy's trying to make a play on the ball, look, basketball is a contact sport, and I understand, obviously player safety, concussions, and so forth, but that right there, you don't need to spend a lot of time to look at it.
Turnover, interception that time made by Deshaun Andrews, and off goes Maurice Howard. Man, we haven't called his name in a while. Count that basket. Let's see if he gives him continuation or not. Nope, going to wave it off. He's going to wave it off. I forgot, we're not watching the NBA. Where continuation starts in the locker room. But there will be a foul on Markel Carter, and that will be 3 on the junior.
That's great body control. Although he didn't get the and one, that's great body control by J.L. Scott.
A good pass by Scott off the inbound. Allen thought about the 3, threw it into traffic, and it will remain with the Braves. 22 to shoot. I am jazzed about that replay. Just so excited that an official can make up his mind, and maybe 30 seconds or less. It can be done.
Yeah, I have to say, that's the fastest one I've seen. So I think all of them should be like that.
Or close to it. And I've always favored a time limit. Football and basketball. There has to be a time limit.
Shot clock for the refs as well.
No, I agree. And because it just kills the rhythm of the game for the athletes and for the fans. Nice drive that time by Scott. And the lead is now 16, but time working against Alcorn State.
Well, Dave, I've been impressed with Scott's energy in this stretch right here. Defensively, he's been active. Take a look at almost another steal by Scott. But when you're trying to get back into a game, you need guys that are going to bring some energy to the lineup. And Scott has provided that in this last 5-minute stretch.
And for the Braves, number 0, Tremaine Crosby.
Tremaine Crosby comes back in, and checking out will be Scott. Made all his shots tonight, 3 for 3 for 6. And McKnight, it had been a few minutes since he had scored, but he still has the touch he began to display, and he now has 13.
He can score in so many ways. Beautiful up fake that time, and that was not an easy shot. He made it look easy. The guy draped all over him, still able to get the fadeaway jumper.
Andrews in a little bit of trouble here with a trapping defense. Got off a good pass. Tough shot in traffic. Still fighting and fighting and fighting was Crosby. He earned that basket.
Yeah, that's a grown man move right there.
Toss.
Big boy putback.
Count it. Doss will get another assist. Banyard will get the basket.
Right here, this is just great second effort. A lot of contact. Go back up in traffic. 3 Arkansas Pine-Bluff guys around him. And I'm going to take a hit and finish. That's just great concentration and work on the offensive glass.
Can't make the old-fashioned three-point play, though. And the rebound goes to Reginald Johnson, who's come back in. And watch him run. He's not running smoothly. He is hobbling a little bit. But playing through it. He wanted to play ball, period. Flat-footed 3, no good. Rebound contested and fought for by McKnight. And a hit-ahead pass, a little erratic. Nice job there by Crosby to use the rim as protection.
Well, if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you want to try to run some clock. You got a pretty good lead, but
and Doss just went straight at it. He did exactly the opposite of what you wanted him to do, but he did draw a foul.
Well, in that situation, you don't mind him attacking. It's a one-on-one situation. You got nobody back to help. So in that situation, that's fine. But when you get into your half-court sets, you want to try to run as much clock as possible. A 64-48 lead.
Now Sean Doss's big night. Back at the line he goes. 6 for 6 from the line, 17 tonight, exceeding his average. But Malcolm mentioned earlier that he's had a really nice run as Pine Bluff is going for a 4th straight win tonight.
And for the Braves, number 2, J.L. Scott. 1 shot remaining.
And J.L. Scott has come back in.
It's good.
Now Arkansas Pine-Bluff extends their defense, little 3/4 court pressure.
That's a physical play there by Johnson. And he'll draw contact. We will step aside as Arkansas Pine-Bluff moving closer to a 4th straight win, and most importantly to go to 8-5 in the SWAC.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's new Made to Crave menu, available at participating restaurants now. And Samuel Adams, brewed inefficiently since 1984. Savor the flavor responsibly.
In Fort Worth for Jamie Dixon's side. And TCU's been in and out of the bubble. Now they're down to 5-7. Oklahoma State having a tough year this year. They're a very young team. Take a look at the Big 12 standings and how weird it is to see Kansas not on top, but they're only a half game out.
Yeah, it really is. And the run that he has been on, Bill Self, they basically dominated the Big 12. We typically are used to seeing them at the top of the standings, but still some basketball to go.
I'll be in Norman Saturday for Texas, Oklahoma. And it'll be interesting to see if Texas can play a couple of good games in a row. That's been their problem. They're on one, they're off one. And Oklahoma had been really off, and then they picked up a win the other night.
And there's the second. Entering for Alcorn State, number 10, Kobe Wilson.
Kobe Wilson, number 10, checks in, a sophomore from Kennesaw, Georgia for Alcorn. He'll help out with the pressure. There's a last stand being made here by Alcorn State. They're going to throw everything they can at the wall and see what sticks.
Ball protection. That's going to be the key for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And free throw shooting. I suspect there's going to be a few more trips to the line coming up. And they've been very good with free throws tonight. Also, they've been shooting the heck out of it. They're 15 of 16 from the foul line. And in this half, they are shooting 72%. And as forecast, off to the line we go. That's a fourth foul. And Sean Doss back at the line with a chance to get into the 20 points. Which he does. Ironically, Alcorn is the leading free throw shooting team in the SWAC. And they haven't shot that many tonight. Doss is 10 for 10 from the line.
He has just been filling up the stat sheet on both ends, and that's what I really like about his game. We talked about his last 5-game stretch on the offensive side. Defensively, he's been getting it done as well, close to 3 steals per game in his last 5 games. Really active.
3 ball, no good. Johnson, he got hit. And it'll be Hardy hit with the foul.
That's his second personal, 17 foul.
This young man at the free throw line, really just an incredible story. We touched on it earlier. Basically playing on a broken leg, limping around. You'll see him. He went to the coaching staff and said, look, I know I'm not going to be 100%. I probably could use some rest, but the team needs me. I'm just going to try to gut it out for the year, and he has done that.
He will check out. He has had. He's played 28 minutes tonight, too, which is more than I expected. Started the game. Sat out for nearly a year. He was a fabulous player as a junior, by the way. He was an HBCU All-American, Johnson, in the 2016-2017 season. The finger roll came up short. McKnight, how will he play it? He won't play it at all. Rejected soundly by Scott.
Scott was a high jumper in high school. He jumped 6'6". We talked about it. His dad was a good basketball player at Fresno State, but that is a big-time rejection by the leading scorer in the SWAC conference, Martavius McKnight.
Step back. Offensive putback coming up. No good. Misfired. And the rebound to Brewer. But Alcorn never able to recover from that 18-0 run and that stretch of over 8 minutes of not being able to score between the two halves. And there's Maurice Howard's in a quiet second half. Timeout called for here by Montez Robinson and the Braves. Down 15 with 2:28 to go. Howard just 7 points tonight. We'll step aside. Pine-Bluff trying to close the door on their opponent and even the season series.
Every day, visionaries are creating the future. So every day, we put our latest technology and vast expertise to work.
The United States Postal Service makes more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country.
Offensive putback coming up, no good, misfired, and the rebound to Brewer. But Alcorn never able to recover from that 18-0 run and that stretch of over 8 minutes of not being able to score between the two halves. And there's Maurice Howard's in a quiet second half. Timeout called for here by Montez Robinson and the Braves. Down 15 with 2:28 to go. Howard just 7 points tonight. We'll step aside. Pine-Bluff trying to close the door on their opponent and even the season series.
Now you do too. StockX. Now you know. Visit StockX.com today.
Sports Center tonight after Kansas State, West Virginia with Bucci and Levy. All the highlights of Big Monday. Rachel Nichols' conversation with James Harden. Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay debate Kyler Murray's future. Sports Center, 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Now, I live in South Florida, and Dolphins fans who are desperately upset with the way things have been going lately are really rooting to see if the team will take Kyler Murray in the number 13 position.
Well, I think, anybody who plays in a conference with Tom Brady, I'm feeling bad for you.
The other thing I saw, and I happened to catch those guys today, he and Todd McShay both, with Wendy Nix, talking about that the Patriots are projected, they have Kiper drafting the Duke quarterback with their first-round pick, which, of course, is the last pick in the first round.
I wouldn't doubt what Bill Belichick and company see in him.
Yeah, I think he's earned that right.
Some people might question that one if it was somebody else, but not him.
Here's the thing, though. Do you want to be the guy who eventually replaces Brady? I don't want that job. Whistle away from the ball, and a foul will go against Arkansas Pine-Bluff. You think about that gig.
Yeah, that's certainly one that I don't think anybody's going to be lining up for.
Nope. No way, Jose.
Somebody eventually is going to have to do it. I love what Barkley says. Father Time is undefeated. Eventually, he is going to, I guess, have a bad year, but certainly has not been the case.
And the other rumor, and it's just a rumor, is that the Patriots are aggressively trying to get Odell Beckham Jr.
That's just not fair.
As Brewer knocks down that free throw. Well, I know we're talking a lot of football here, and I apologize, but one last thing to remind you of, the Patriots have done all of this lately without a deep threat at receiver. They tried Josh Gordon. Unfortunately for Josh, that didn't work out. Brewer misses the second one. So just something to think about. Then we go back to hoops.
You cover it all here.
It's our job. As your former head coach in the NBA, Pat Riley, once said, we live in the toy department of life.
Absolutely. Right now, though, 1:36 to go. Arkansas Pine-Bluff is going to have to close out this game, protecting the ball and then knocking down free throws. And this young man at the line has had himself a game. Sean Doss, really impressed with what he has done tonight. And not a bad shot. All his shots were within the flow of the offense. He was active on the defensive end.
He finally missed one.
And we just jinxed him on the free throw line.
Well, if he had made them, actually it's our statistician's fault, Kevin. He said if they both went in, it was going to be a career high for Sean Doss. So blame Kevin for that. Howard from Little Rock, that three-pointer. And he cuts it to 13. The time is just not on Alcorn State's side unless Reggie Miller shows up.
Got to be careful here. If you're Alcorn State, don't give up a long, uncontested layup.
Whoa, and they just said they did the worst possible thing. Howard's going to flip and fire. And they're going to get an easy two with 61 seconds remaining and another timeout called. And George Ivory just aged a year on the bench for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
I've seen crazier things.
Yep.
Right now, minute and about a second That's plenty of time for Alcorn State to tie this game or go ahead. Certainly, if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you got to do a better job taking care of the ball. Now, though, for Alcorn State, you got to be careful of them throwing over the top. And right here, this is just not bad D, but a guy that's over 77 threes made for the year in Howard. And then this is just really a 50-50 ball. That's one that Arkansas Pine-Bluff has to come up with. But now, for Alcorn State, you got to have a safety back. On that previous play, a couple possessions prior, they ran somebody long. You have to be cognizant. You have to be aware of Arkansas Pine-Bluff running somebody long over the top of the D.
Just to remind folks who maybe get confused, the player inbounding the ball has the right to run up and down that baseline after a made basket. So that option was there. It wasn't needed. No need to shoot. And there goes the foul we were waiting on. That's going to send Doss back to the line. So this time Kevin is not going to say anything about a career high for Sean Doss. We're just going to see what happens.
Coming into this game, Doss was a 67% free throw shooter. That certainly was not the case, though, of what he shot tonight. He was been on a pretty good streak from the free throw line.
11 for 11. So one more to go here. There you go. That's a career high. He had 25 the last time these teams played. So he's tied it. And this is going to go in the win column for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Back to the line, and this time it'll be Kwamari Hardy who will have the chance, the senior from Hoover, Alabama. And Alabama is where these teams want to be in March. The weekend of the 15th and 16th, both the men's and women's championships will be decided in the SWAC in Birmingham. We take a look at the standings. We got games now underway. Prairie View is the team at the moment. Texas Southern is still good. They changed coaches, and it doesn't seem to bother them. Alabama State has been strong. Pine Bluff's going to go to 8-5. Grambling has looked good. You got to finish in the top 8 to get to the tournament, and you have first-round sites on campus, and then everything goes to Birmingham this year. This is pretty much a wire-to-wire win, Malcolm. There's only a minute and 37 seconds where the Braves had the lead, and that was all in the first half.
And in that first half, it was all about their offensive rebounding and effort on the defensive end. And then in that second half, they started to heat up from beyond the arc and get some high-quality looks.
And Maurice Howard fighting to the very end there with another 3-ball. And also fighting to the very end is Montez Robinson calling a timeout with 21.4 seconds to go, down double digits. But the man of the match for UAPB has to be the sophomore, Sean Doss.
But what a game it has been for him. Active on both ends, offensively right here, little runner in the lane. That's a tough shot. He made it look easy. And then in transition, his ability to finish after taking hits has been impressive. And he capped it off right here with a monster dunk. Impressive all around, getting it done on both ends. And he just continues to play well. You look at his stat line, 25 points on an efficient 6 of 8 from the floor, 12 for 12 from the free throw line. And his last 5 games, you look at his numbers, he came in 17 points a game, over 68% from the floor. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
A jump ball possession arrow, however, favors Pine Bluff with 17.2 to go. Alcorn went all out. Full blitz on that.
Let's see if Arkansas Pine-Bluff runs somebody long. Trying to get a home run play for a layup on the other end.
And this is going to be side out of bounds here, it looks like. Yep. Almost stolen by Johnson, and he's trying to make the clever play by bouncing it off the leg of the Pine-Bluff player. And did it work?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Alcorn State ball.
We don't have a foul call here. The referee wants side out of bounds out of this. No, you know what? They want to check the clock or the possession, so they're going to head to the monitor. Now let's see. They spoiled me. I'm going to expect this not to be quite as fast. In the last 2 minutes, they have the option to look at this to see whose possession it is. And this is not an easy call. You can see what Johnson was trying to do. Number 24 for Alcorn.
Yeah, let's take a look. I think this is a better angle right here. Now, yeah, I think that's going to be Alcorn State ball. It looked like that did not touch Johnson at the end there. That's a heads-up play by Reginald Johnson. Coming up with, it looks like, going to be a change of possession.
Let's take one more look at it here. This is a tricky one. Let's also take a look at where Banyard is. All right, so there's Banyard's hand. There's Johnson into Banyard. Oh, wait, no, it hit 14.1 on the clock. The call on the floor stands. It actually, at the very end, looked like it hit Johnson's leg.
And it looks like they're going to add another second to the clock. Yeah, so it's going to be 14.1 seconds.
And they awarded the ball to Alcorn. They'll shoot it. They'll miss it. And that'll do it. There's the run out. It'll be McKnight, and he's not going to bother shooting. He'll dribble it out, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff improves importantly to 8-5 in conference play. And at home, they are an impressive 7-1. And meantime, the Braves are still looking, Malcolm, for their first win on the road.
Well, start to finish, it was an impressive performance by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Offensive rebounding, defensively they were active, and then in the second half, they started to heat up. An impressive home win for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And they do it on a quiet night for Martavius McKnight because Sean Doss stepped up. Mark Carter also had a couple of big three-pointers. And it's a win for UAPB. For Malcolm Huckabee and our entire crew, I'm Dave Lamont. Thank you for watching Big Monday in the SWAC. Stay tuned for TCU and Oklahoma State next.